So here we have the airbag. You can see it's a solid skeleton, if you will, that's going to be protecting your body as you're wearing it.
Happy New Year, Kyle Bradshaw here, and I have a special treat for you. Brand new for 2020, Klim has come into the airbag vest market.
Oh, that felt good.
Now you might think you're not wearing an airbag vest, but oh, I am. Now another treat, this here is the Marrakesh jacket. This is a brand new colorway, just released January 1st of 2020 as well. I've been riding in the Marrakesh for about 6 months now. It's a 4-way stretch. This jacket has tons of movement to it, super comfortable, and it flows infinite amounts of air. As you can see, the light goes right through it. Anyway, Marrakesh jacket, toss that to the side. This is the topic of conversation that I want to have right now. This vest is made by Klim in conjunction with a company called In&Motion. Now, there's no tether that goes to the bike. This vest actually has artificial intelligence built into it. This guy right back here. What happens is this thing monitors the movement of the bike. It monitors your speed. It monitors shifts in movement. And if there's a sudden or abrupt change of movement that this vest identifies as dangerous, it's going to, in just 60 milliseconds, explode. It's going to blow up. It's going to inflate this vest. That's going to give you this huge chamber of air all the way up over your core, all the way around your neck, and down your back. Take a look at some of the footage that we recorded here at Chaparral Motorsports almost 6 months ago when we first saw this vest. Again, there's a gas chamber that's going to screw into this vest. I'm going to show you what that looks like right now. And then this brain that you can either buy outright or you can rent from this company called In&Motion. Let me get this thing up onto a hanger real quick so I can show you what those details look like. When it comes to this vest, there's really 3 things we're looking at. One, there is a CE rated back protector pattern here that holds everything in place. I'll show you that here in just a minute. Here on the outside, this is actually the brain of the unit. This is the piece from In&Motion that is going to be able to sense movement on the motorcycle and then make the distinction on whether it needs to deploy or not. Now this brain gets removed by pushing this lever up, pulling it out, and this is the unit. So this takes a look. It says GPS signal, yes or no. There's all kinds of fun stuff on here. Anyway, this is the In&Box by In&Motion. I'm gonna go ahead and put this back in place. It simply slides over once it's put in correctly and locks into place. Now this will give you a green indicator if everything's right, but this is not currently charged, not ready to go. This here's just a sample unit that we had to show you kind of what this thing looks like. Now underneath the brain, we're gonna have a CE rated back protector. Now this back protector not only protects your back in the case of an impact, it also protects you from the huge canister that's gonna sit here that's gonna contain all the charges for the jacket. So what's gonna happen is the cylinder attaches to the airbag here and then comes through this hole, lays over the top, and then plugs in electronically to the brain right down here at the bottom. So this plug is going to plug into that cylinder or canister that then is going to activate and blow up the entire airbag portion of this vest. So first impression of the feel, I'm going to say this thing feels like elastic. So it has a mesh in it that is a very breathable and movable mesh. It's not a solid mesh. It's more of a flexible, elastic type mesh. Feels really good on the body. All right, so now I'm putting on my standard riding jacket. If you're curious, this is the Marrakesh from Klim. I've been riding this thing for the last 6 months or so. Super, super comfortable jacket. So I've got the airbag vest on, I've got my jacket, and now I'm gonna throw on my helmet. So we're exactly how we would be out in the wild. Now we're gonna deploy this vest. Now this works very different than some of the other vests on the market. There's no tether to be pulled. It's done off of algorithms built into that brain that you saw us install earlier. Now we're ready to roll. Oh, that felt good. So right now I can tell you that there is a lot of pressure put on my shoulders, all the way down over my ribs, around my back. This thing is huge inside underneath my jacket. Let's go ahead and peel this thing off so we can take a look. Now the neat thing that I like about airbag vests or jackets is the fact that
they stay inflated. So if I were to be tumbling down a ravine or tumbling down the road, I'm protected. All of my vital organs here on the front are protected as I'm rolling around. So a neat thing that I really like about the airbag systems is the fact that you have an automatic neck brace that deploys. So this helmet's going to hit the back, the sides, the front. It's really going to eliminate the possibility of having those types of injuries. That's one feature that I really like about this setup. Now that you've seen it in action, let's go ahead and get it off, set it on the counter. We'll talk about some of the features and benefits of this new airbag vest. So having worn some of the other airbags out there in the marketplace, I'm going to say that I like the way that this one feels for a couple reasons. The other ones that I've worn have been more of a hard Cordura type material, and those have no give, where this one here, the stretch of the fabric allows this thing to still be movable on my body. I actually really like that feature. The fact it goes underneath my jacket, I also really like. That way I'm not going to catch it. So I've ridden in some of the other vests that go over your outside riding jacket. I've actually had that vest get snagged on tree branches and things and kind of pull me off the bike, if you will, and that wasn't a fun situation. So I really like that. So now let's get in and take a look at some of the details of this vest itself a little bit closer. So here we have the airbag. You can see it's a solid skeleton, if you will, that's going to be protecting your body as you're wearing it. You can see the extra bubble here around the neck. That's going to give you that neck brace type situation. And you've got the two chambers that come down over your chest, and of course the one that comes down around your back. Now on top of that is going to be this CE rated back protector.
And there you have it. Explosive news from Klim for 2020. The AI-1 airbag vest. If you're looking for neck protection, chest protection, internal organ protection, back protection, all wrapped up in one convenient package, this AI-1 vest from Klim is something you should probably take a look at for 2020. It's available right now to be ordered at Chaparral Motorsports. Take a look at the link in the description below.
So the first question I know that we're going to hear is, how easy is the cartridge to replace once it does go off? Can you do it in the field? And can I carry a spare one with me? And the answer to those questions is yes.
Sure.
Now, Scott, those replacement canisters, we don't have an actual price for those yet, but
Not yet.
again, this does not attach via tether to your motorcycle. This airbag is going to deploy if you lean over to a certain degree, or if you have a sudden stop that happens. There's a lot of questions that we have.
Yeah.
Like, for example, if you panic brake and stop and you come to a stop just on your own tires, is that enough to deploy this thing? I hope not, but we're going to see what that looks like. Yeah. If you're carving canyons and getting all the way over and scraping peg, is that far enough for the lean angle to be able to trip this thing off? I don't know the answer to those questions, but we're going to have those as soon as Scott comes back with all of those details for us. So let's get back to the brain. So we got the cost of the cartridge itself. Let's back up a little bit. So what's the cost of the actual vest itself, Scott?
So the vest is going to retail at $399.
Okay.
So that being said, now you have choices. You can buy the brain package for $300, or you could lease it for $120 a year with it. There's also an additional track package. So if you're a guy who rides on the street and also goes to the track on the weekends, $25 a year will get you that track algorithm as well.
Interesting. So different algorithms in the brain for whether you're riding on the street or whether you're riding on the track. So the vest itself is about $399.
Yes.
Then you add the brain to that.
So you can buy the brain for $300, then you own it outright. Or
$699, you're all in, and the only thing you need to worry about is purchasing the cartridges. But if you want to rent it, it's $125 for a year.
Yes, and if anything goes wrong with it, it's a little bit of an insurance policy where they'll send you a new brain with a call tag to pick up your old brain. So you never have to worry about your electronics going bad. It's covered.
And just like any cell phone out there on the marketplace or computer, there's going to be updates that they give to this thing.
Correct.
Periodically. You have to plug it in and download updates so you're up to date on the most current of the firmware. Now, other than those components, what are we looking at? So, the airbag itself. So a lot of other jackets on the market or airbag vests on the market, once you deploy it enough times, you basically just throw the thing out and buy a new one. This one here, the airbag bladder, is replaceable. How does that work?
So what we want is, if you happen to have your airbag deploy 3 times, we want you to send it to Klim so it can be inspected to make sure that the bladder is still able to do this. So it doesn't actually stuff back into itself, it just inflates to this size. So we want to make sure that the bladder and the structure of the bladder is maintaining its rigidity and is able to keep you safe on the next deployment.
And then once inspected, they're going to send it back to you, either repaired or replaced.
So yeah, what would happen is if they deem the bladder to be not good for use again, then it's $399 to buy a new vest. If by chance you've had to go off 3 times and the bladder's still good, they'll send it back to you and say it's still good to use.
And that's it. It's just a quick look. We just barely got our hands on this thing. We were playing with it, and we wanted to let you see it as soon as you possibly could. So January 1st, this is going to be in your email inbox if you're a subscriber to our channel. If you have any questions about this vest, please leave a comment below, and we'll be sure to get it answered ASAP. Now, stay tuned to our following video. It might even be launched at the same time this one's launched, if we get an opportunity to take a look at this thing again once all of our questions are answered. Again, we're about 6 months before this thing's actually released. 5 months.
5 months. But it's a good sneak peek.
Yeah. But then again, we're still 5 months from this actually being released into the marketplace, so stay tuned. We're going to have more information about this remarkable vest coming your direction. I'm Kyle from Chaparral Motorsports. This is Scott from Klim. Thanks for watching. Till next time, take care and ride safe out there.